Hey everybody over at Anthem Central, how you guys all doing today? My name is Matt and welcome back to the channel, and I figured instead of uploading 2 to 3 videos on today, I figured I might as well spend some time and make one really long one for you guys, going into some of the most important, the most factual, and of course, the most exciting pieces of information we've ever gotten about Anthem. So stay tuned, this is going to be quite the ride. Now what I've put together today is a little compilation of everything that we've seen on YouTube from many major Anthem influencers. Now obviously, I'm not directly re-uploading, so under fair use laws, these are all good to go, and honestly, I'm going to be shouting these guys out. I'm not trying to rob anyone here. Go check the description, guys. Every single channel that has featured gameplay here will be in the description with, of course, their name on the screen, and I'm going into some of the missions we've seen, some of the new info we've gotten, and I thought you guys might genuinely just enjoy this. Before I go any further, guys, I just want to say thank you all for the wonderful support on the channel recently, guys. We've been getting a lot of fantastic shout-outs, and of course, I'm going to thank these guys more in future videos here, but honestly, guys, it's just been absolutely wonderful. If you guys haven't already, of course, definitely go follow my Twitch. I'll be streaming a ton tomorrow, as well as giving away some final VIP codes for those that actually want, and of course have not gotten into the Anthem VIP, so I will be giving away that link, my little friend code thing, so you guys can go join that. That being said, guys, let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to be showcasing to you guys, of course, is from Sly Nation here, the new Anthem mission Incursion solo gameplay. Now this is solo, of course, as the Ranger here, and basically his whole goal here is to catch the Monitor before he escapes. And honestly, man, this mission looks wicked. The environments, especially the scenes that are kind of showcased here, is just absolutely gorgeous, and you see this really eerie, kind of just mysterious setting, and I think that being in your Javelin, of course, does kind of give you some type of confidence going into these settings. You see some underwater travel, harvesting minerals, a lot of really cool stuff going on in this gameplay, but you know, you really do get a glimpse of the ability to feel superhuman in this game. It's just the effects, the designs, everything is so unique. It's definitely one of the best displays I've ever seen of this game. Now, there's a couple things I think you guys should know. Obviously, of course, in this gameplay, he's using just a fully auto, like LMG type of thing, and you know, you see encounters with enemies here. It does not look impossible to do missions solo, and that's something that a lot of people were kind of thinking about, and of course, Sly in his description mentions this, that a lot of people were saying that you won't be able to do missions solo, and that this is something you'll have to only do with friends, but it does become quite evident here that he is able to do this completely on his own. I will say the voice acting at the end could have been a little bit better, honestly. It was a little, oh man, I don't know, that for some reason the voice acting at the moment just doesn't sound that good in the way the lips of the characters sync up. That's probably my biggest complaint with the game at the moment, and again, if that's my biggest complaint, it definitely does show that this game is doing something right, if that is my biggest nitpicking complaint. And again, it's not that big of a deal to me. As much as I enjoy story, it is definitely not the biggest thing for me. Playability and gameplay seems to be the biggest thing for me as well, but you know, you see the Ranger really showcasing some of the fantastic abilities he has, some of them very reminiscent even of Interceptor and Storm. You see a couple like melee features, of course, and a couple shielding features, so it definitely does seem very kind of diverse and well-rounded, and that's why my opinions recently have actually shifted over to using Ranger as opposed to a couple other Javelins, because it does seem like they appear really just to be very well-rounded. You see him taking on some turrets and just some overall different creatures than we've seen in the past. I do believe this was a nice showcase of some stuff we've seen with, of course, the lead up to the demo, and this should actually be in the VIP demo tomorrow, so definitely do be on the lookout for that. Now, the next video I wanted to show you guys, some Eric's Gaming here, the Social Hub, the Launch Bay Tour, showcasing exactly what Launch Bay does. And you guys can see here, this is suitable for 16 players, and it really does look nice. It's cozy, it's small, it's nothing big, it's nothing tacky or obnoxious, definitely less sort of optically stimulating than the tower in Destiny, but you see, it's a nice small little space for general good social interaction. I believe you can access this directly from, of course, your single player, your Fort Tarsis. I believe you can go here directly, and you see, you know, you could emote with people, inspect, you know, their gear and stuff, interact with them, and here you actually can see the ability to enter Forge. A lot of really cool stuff going on here, and you know, this is where you go to check your challenges, starting your missions or expeditions, whatever you want to call it, and it does just seem like a really nice set of features. You can open your vault. There's genuinely a lot of really cool stuff to do. You look at your weekly alliance status, your contracts, and it seems like this is a place a lot of people will be stopping by. Now, I'm not sure exactly whether or not this will be active in the demo. I will definitely be checking for it, but I do believe this will be in the full game at launch. I cannot guarantee, however, whether or not they will be, of course, showcasing this during the demo. Now the next video we're moving on to is from MTash, the Anthem Power Leveling Guide, and he goes into his experiences for grinding levels in Anthem, and it would seem that this proves to be very, very effective, since in relative comparison to the people he is playing with here, he is actually 2 levels higher, all with the same amount of playtime. Now how exactly did MTash level up faster? And in this video he goes into essentially how he managed to complete challenges and follow specific sort of instructions, which allowed him to grant much more XP to himself, and it did seem to work out much better for his overall level. So what he does in this video is he goes and looks under the feats little category here, and these feats basically are challenges that you have to do, such as defeating enemies with weapons, headshots, certain types of enemies, using certain weapons, and this comes of course in contact with the currencies and backpack features. But again, it would seem that if you actually follow these challenges, you'll definitely be doing something right and working towards your overall level much faster, following multi-kills, world events, strongholds, all these different challenges here that grant XP seem to be very, very well constructed, and if you happen to know what you're looking for, I do believe you could definitely level up faster than a lot of other people. Next up is probably the most interesting portion of the video. This is coming from Willis Gaming here, showcasing the gigantic Ancient Ash Titan here, using his level 15 Ranger in this footage. Now, this definitely seems to be one of the coolest sort of boss fights that we've seen so far in Anthem. He's using a single shot weapon, which looks absolutely menacing here, and this boss definitely does not look easy to defeat. Now, I'm not exactly sure what difficulty he is playing on here, but it's him and one other guy, and they're both taking on these gigantic Titans, and there's 2 types of Titans we know so far, the Ash Titan and another type of Titan, and basically this looks like one of the coolest bosses so far. The whole goal here is to hit these Titans in their weak spots, which are sort of a yellow flashing kind of target area, and that usually occurs whenever they're getting ready to pounce or start, sending their energy weapons. That's usually what they're going for, so whenever they're initiating that attack, you're going to want to try to hit them in their critical spots, that yellow spot that does appear to be very vulnerable. This does seem, at least to me, to showcase exactly where combos should be the most effective, because knowing how to combo properly with you and of course another javelin should be able to kind of pinpoint that spot much easier and work much more effectively. Now the final bit of footage I have is from your Anthem here, of course, going into just some final little mission stuff that we've seen, the triple threat mission in Anthem here, which does seem to be quite challenging, and the whole goal here is to recover the signets to access the Dominion Lack Breaker. At least that's what it's called. I'm not exactly sure how this objective ties into everything, but again, it's one of those kind of point and click, go find a location and do something like that. It's nothing that complicated. Of course, it sounds a little more complicated than it is, of course. But the goal here is just to locate, some artifact. They call it a manifold here from the chamber. It's pretty cool, honestly. It looks really cool stuff. I don't really believe this is going to be one of the harder ones to figure out and decipher, but that's fine, because not every mission has to be super, super, in-depth and thought-provoking. Sometimes opening a little loot box, or in this case, activating a Dominion device, sometimes that's perfectly sufficient, and sometimes people just want to go and wreck the hell out of enemies and, go through that mission that way, instead of having to critically think every second. And I think that type of balance does definitely support good gaming. Of course, any good sort of story, single player, or, PvE in general, you want to have a good mix of either psychological sort of quests or just physical, actually shooting enemies. You don't want, too much focus on either of them, because then it gets repetitive, it gets mundane. So sometimes going in guns a-blazing can be fun, and you guys can see that very, very clearly in this mission here. That being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. You guys are wonderful. Want to put something a little bit together, just, because I don't have any early access gameplay. I'm not that special yet, but I wanted to showcase everything I have seen, just a little compilation going into my thoughts on everything so far. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely go drop a like and that subscribe button. Join my Discord, link down below in the subscription, and then not subscription, can I talk to description? Oh man, 8 minutes and 45 seconds is far too damn long to talk, by the way, just saying. But if you guys made it up to this point in the video, definitely go ahead in the comments, type Colossus down below in the comments, just the word Colossus, prove you made it to the end of the video. With that being said, everybody, thank you for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.